About 9 o'clock in the morning, day number 20. It's Friday. Broken camp, and I am headed to the Drake Well Museum. It's about an hour and a half away. I tried to get there on the way headed west, but it was closed. But today it is open, so I figured I'd stop by. It's not really out of the way, and continue my way eastwards across Pennsylvania. So here we go. Day number, it's hard to believe, day number 20. Pymatuning State Park Campground. Here we are, back into Pennsylvania, and now I'm in the Pymatuning, Pennsylvania State Park. The fog is starting to lift. Good riding. Pennsylvania offers a lot of good riding. Sun is finally breaking through. 10 o'clock. Titusville, birthplace of the oil industry. 3 miles to go to the museum. But this museum is devoted to the discovery of oil in Pennsylvania and the drilling of it. This looks familiar. Drake Well Museum. 1-lane bridge. Weight limit 40 tons. Struck oil August 27th, 1859, a mere 100 years before I was born. The Drake Well Museum and Park, Titusville, Pennsylvania. Left of green room, right? This is a model of Drake. His top hat from 1862.
How does it go? By centrifugal force, the balls are thrown outward, which pulls this lever up, which pushes this lever down, and there's a butterfly valve in there.
It's called an oil field Parker. You can smell it out here running. I think you call this a hit or miss engine. Huge belt. So you can see that's what's driving the long rods that are pushing the other pumps. And they just come out of the building, that eccentric gear, and off they go on their runs out to the pumps for the drills. Example of an oil carrying car for a railroad. Steel derricks were offered beginning in 1892 in place of wood derricks, but they didn't become common until the 1920s, which continued until World War II, at which time a lot of trucks with movable rigs replaced them. 1927, big brute truck made by GMC. Portable drilling rig. Circa 1880 tank wagon to carry petroleum products. The docent indicated that this was not the first location in the world where oil was pumped for kerosene. That happened apparently in Azerbaijan, but this is the first place in the world where it was drilled and pumped for commercial purposes where it had actually succeeded. It's 1:30. I still have 4.5 hours of riding, 213 miles to World's End State Park, on the other side of Pennsylvania. American Indians apparently used oil seeping out of the ground for many, many years, but nobody really understood how to collect it from under the ground, and it was done here and turned it into a huge industry. I asked the curator whether there were still oil seeps in Pennsylvania, and he said yes, oil seeps where the oil seeps up out of the ground. He said not nearly as many as there were before 1859 because a lot of the oil was removed and took some of the pressure off of the oil that was underneath the ground. But he said even here, where there's the little streams and rivers running by, occasionally he'll notice a sheen on the surface of the water from oil seeping up out of the ground. Beautiful tree-lined road in Pennsylvania. Allegheny National Forest. It's an area with a steep downgrade. Trucks are limited to 25 miles an hour. Steep downgrade and sharp turns. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have 139 miles to go. Which they claim is 3 hours. To put me in at 6, excluding any stop for groceries. Riding along Route 6. Smethport, Pennsylvania. Isn't that nice? I like riding this Route 6. I've done it before. Picked up groceries. It's very pretty back here. I got off of Route 6. I'm on Pennsylvania 660. A lot of farmland. It's rolling hills and roads in good shape. There we go. I just broke 4,000 miles on the strip. Shadows are definitely getting longer and the temperature is dropping. Get towards the end of the days. The smell of farmland. That was disconcerting. I just missed a deer by inches. That's the closest I've come to hitting an animal. Oh man, I could see adrenaline pumping. I broke pretty hard, but he was there and gone. By the time my brakes started to engage and the bike shifted its weight to the forward tire, he was past me, and literally he knew he was in trouble because he I don't know how you would describe it, but his head came down and he was like bracing for impact. Holy cow. It was it's probably a yearling or something like that. And that's why I don't like riding this time of the day, especially in woodlands. There's just too many animals around. Ooh, boy, that was a close call. It is 5:44. 22 miles to go still. Be glad to get this ride over now after that experience. Occasionally there's a car from the opposite direction, but not very often. It's a pretty road. Beautiful evening. am within 1 mile of the park. I have yet to see a single sign for it. So we'll see whether Garmin's gonna do me in or not. Hopefully there's cell service if the park is not here. I just do not think it's here. 400 feet. Oh my gosh. 50 feet. This is supposed to be the park. And there's nothing. Okay, so instead of using the Garmin selected park location, I found that I had it as a favorite that I had saved at some point in the past, and it's 5.9 miles away from where I am right now, so I'm somewhat close to it. And I was going to check my phone, but of course I'm in a no cell area, so I'm getting no signal. Okay, so I passed a sign, World's End State Park, 2 miles this way. Probably too dark to see with my camera, but I just entered the park. And they show park entrance coming up here. Day 21. End of week 3, day 21. 8:23 in the morning. A little colder last night than it was for several weeks. 53 degrees, still not bad, but noticeable. So I put a layer on for my heated jacket. If it gets too cold while I'm running, I'll just plug in. Headed today towards home, but on the way I'm going to stop at the FDR family home in New York. About 3.5 hours away, and that includes some expressway riding. I'd lose an hour if I go back roads. Didn't have cell reception last night, so don't know what the weather's supposed to be like today. I was able to reach my wife using my Garmin satellite communicator, so that worked well. I tried to use my phone too, which now has satellite on it, but the tree cover at that park was so heavy that I could never get really a connection with it, but the Garmin seemed to do pretty well. Scenic overlook. Welcome to the Pocono Mountains. I am on Interstate 84. I have 104 miles to go to get to Franklin Delano Roosevelt Home and Museum. I had mentioned it before, but I purchased this 2020 V-Strom in early 2021 in the pandemic, and have ridden it the last 5 years all over the country, all over Canada. It's hit 65,000 miles. For 5 years, that's 13,000 miles a year I've been putting it on average. Orange County, New York. Empire State. Goodbye, Pennsylvania. Crossing the Mid-Hudson Bridge. Somewhere it's up here. Look at that. They even call it the Franklin D. Roosevelt Bridge. Mid-Hudson. We're about 6 miles from his home, which is located on the eastern side of the Hudson River. Welcome to the historic town of Hyde Park, New York, home of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. There's also a historic site here for Eleanor Roosevelt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Presidential Library and Museum and National Historic Site. Henry A. Wallace Visitor Center and Education. Alright, find myself some parking. There's a spot. house and stables. Definitely came from a wealthy family. Just teeming with bees. "3:30 in the afternoon. The library was as good as Ronnie Reagan's library out in California. Set of artifacts that they had. I asked for a non-expressway route home, so I should be coming in from the northwest, heading southeast. Almost in Connecticut. A nice windy road right here. I am in Connecticut, but I'm not exactly sure where. Never come in this way before. Great temperatures, low humidity. What a way to finish a trip." So ends the trip. 4,305 miles. The bike has 65,150 miles on it. 21 days. 21 days, that's the end of the trip.